So I'm going to use your quote here. So let me read it. So in one of the interviews you mentioned, your mission is to become the boss of touch while developing products that actually shift with people's lives and in a meaningful way. That's what you said. So now, can you please share a couple of exemplary scenarios where haptics can change people's lives in kind of meaningful way, right?
Yeah.
And let me just give you an example from my motivations in terms of doing research in haptics is that, first of all, we already established that sense of touch plays a humongous role in our lives, right? Without touch, we are nothing, basically. But it also brings a lot of affective information, right? So touch is basically communication of emotion for me in many ways, right? And I wonder, hypothetical in future, can we have affective communication using haptics, right? Can we regulate our emotions using haptic tech, right?
Yeah.
As if we had an arm next to us, a loving arm that makes us feel better, or otherwise maybe more energetic, you know, or can we communicate information which is totally different in a sense? Can I communicate Starry Night using haptics? Things like that. So just hypothetical scenarios and too hypothetical, less hypothetical. Share your thoughts about that, please.
Yeah. And so, you know, like, I think that from the opening, yes, I think that if you look at music right now, most musicians don't make music with a visual or taste or smell-based component while they're composing, right? You know, like most artists aren't thinking of what the soundtrack for their painting is going to be, right? But if you're a haptic designer, you're basically constantly designing in an audio visual dominant haptic subordinate world. You know, like, it's like, hey, your controller rumbles, but then you see the screen and you roll off the ground and then the sounds and then you get the rumble. And it's not like, haptics is always like a supplement to audio addition and vision. And the world that I'm really excited about is that what happens when haptics has a space like music and art to be divorced completely from the relationship to the other senses.
Exactly. So yes, please tell me more.
So, you know, like, so one of the things that, like, man, a lot of work needs to be done. And I think this is where, from my point of view, like, where the work that we're coming in at is that by making the waveband, we make a haptic thing that navigates and that helps people in a really meaningful way. But also, we make a platform that then researchers and developers who have no interest in like navigation can just grab a waveband, encode it, and program it to do and respond to anything that they want. And I think that, like, once a tool is placed into the world, into the haptic kingdom, that like anybody can just pick up,
like it's open source, right?
Exactly. It's like being able to pick up. It's like Minecraft, right? You know, like, you can build, you can build dumb things, or you can build, like, you know, like the Eiffel Tower and at scale, right? So it's like, you know, like, people have gotten so creative with what can be done, and we want to see what happens when we unleash this power to the world and say, like, hey, you know, like, we have game designers who want to design non-visual and non-audio games, right? We have like people in the sports space that want to, like, you know, put wavebands on soccer players' legs so they don't throw out their knees while running, measuring forces and giving them haptic feedback along the way. So a lot of the stuff that we're doing right now, and in this first stage, I think it's going to be a lot of that, is that, like, we're finding new ways of giving people information directly through the skin instead of through the eyes and the ears as the dominant, you know, delivery channel.
So your way is to basically isolating haptics and making it like as a central modality for communication. That's one way, right?
Yeah, and you know, and I don't think it's necessary, because, you know, at the end of the day, like, nothing works in isolation. And I'm a haptic purist. I remember, you know, we went into, you know, our team talked about adding audio to the app, and I was like, that defeats the whole point. You know, I was really against it, but then I was like, wait, our users are blind. They might want the audio too. This isn't about my personal journey to make touch like equivalent to sight and sound in the design community, you know, I mean, which that's my personal journey.